Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Fellow Toastmasters, contest chair, and honourable judges, and particularly to Sai Keong for very kindly introducing my topic for me. Yes, we can. As Sai Keong has just said, those very important words, those short, simple, symbolic words, in my view, should be etched in our memories, should be recorded for eternity as summing up the best of 2008. We probably all know that these words were first uttered by Barack Obama just 12 months ago, but not in the moment of victory. Some people are confused by that. He actually used those words for the first time, to everybody's knowledge, in defeat. He'd just been beaten by his nemesis, Hillary Clinton, in the first of what turned out to be 30 primary elections, which led up to deciding who should represent his Democratic Party in the presidential election 10 long months later. We now know that those words were indeed an influence in the final election result. He used those words in a way in various memorable, mesmerizing speeches when he challenged his fellow Americans: think positive, not negative. Think of setbacks as opportunities, not as problems. And each time he followed with the refrain, yes, we can. And of course he went on to win the election, because those simple words resonated throughout the nation, throughout the USA, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, and from the gleaming, glimmering mountain tops to the shining, shimmering sea. Those words meant something to the Americans, and they voted for him in great numbers. And as a sign, really, an indication of how important those words were, not just for the American public, but for all of us all around the world. Time magazine, just a few weeks ago, decided that Barack Obama was the person of the year. And his image adorned their front cover, just as they had done for Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, and Nelson Mandela before him. So he was the person of the year. But in my view, although his election was important, it was not the event of the year. In my view, the event of the year happened all the way around the globe, in a country with 1.3 billion people. Yes, in my view, China arranged the event of 2008. Because in the year 2001, at a meeting of the International Olympic Committee, China said, effectively, yes, we can. Or maybe it's Sei Wo Man Ke Yi in Mandarin. I hope I've got that right. But yes, the Chinese said, we will arrange the Olympic Games in 2008. And although there were many people around the world who doubted whether they could turn yes we can into reality, they went on to do so, because they decided they would not be put off by the building problems which had plagued previous Olympic Games. They would not be distracted by what I would call the unmitigated public relations disaster relating to the Olympic torch relay. They would not be delayed by the tragedy of the Sichuan earthquake. They would turn we can to we will to we did. Now, I think no one who was in the Bird's Nest Stadium on August the 8th, 2008, or even those of us, and I think it probably is most of us, who had to suffice with TV viewing. So the nearest we got to that Bird's Nest Stadium was actually Stadium Astro. But it's better than nothing, because that was a spectacle, the likes of which we have never seen before. just about unbeatable as a sporting extravaganza. But of course there were other events which happened. It wasn't just about the opening ceremony. There were all those sporting events, the triumphs and the tragedies, the heartbreaks and the record breaking. That all happened during the Olympic Games. But let me share with you some of the individuals who helped to inspire us, to brighten up our lives. Let's take, say, the Jamaican runner, Usain Bolt. I mean, he passed the finishing line. I dare not cross this line, otherwise I'll be disqualified. But he passed the finishing line looking back at his opponents who were world-class athletes. And yet he still smashed the world record. And then there was 13-year-old swimmer, Ellie Drummond from London. So you had the contrast, the giant and the dwarf. We had the record breaker and the heartbreaker. We had Usain Bolt, who was there to be a record breaker, and he was. But we also had similarities between these two very different people, because they were both disadvantaged. He through poverty, she through physical deformity. They were both determined to win. They were both, in my view, imbued with the yes we can gene. And they both left Beijing as multiple gold medalists. And we can't forget our very own Lee Chong Wei, can we? He put on a performance, particularly in his semi-final, of which all Malaysians should be proud. And he demonstrated by winning only the second silver medal ever achieved by Malaysia in the Olympic Games. He came back with that medal. And he turned the yes we can to Malaysia's version, Malaysia Boleh. And we should all be proud of that, and we should all take all those lessons into our own lives and make a difference. Yes, we can!